What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hope we're all having a wonderful Thursday out there, and hopefully we're all getting ready for this Easter weekend on the way. I do have a quick update for you on that weather forecast for the rest of tonight as these storms roll on through the Mid-Atlantic and through Easter weekend. So this is probably going to be a pretty short video because I only really plan on talking about now through Sunday, and I don't really plan on talking about next week all that much. We'll kind of get there whenever we get there, but also do want to give a reminder here that I won't have a video out tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. Because I'm on kind of refresh weekend is what they call it here, and it's kind of just a good opportunity to, go back home and spend some time with family and kind of just enjoy the Easter holiday without having to worry about doing kind of extracurricular things. So if you do need an update on the forecast, of course, I have Mitch's channel linked down here, and you can also follow me on Twitter and kind of get updates from there. But again, no video until next Monday, which I know that's a pretty long gap, but I think it's always good to just kind of take a little bit of a break and decompress after all the crazy weather we've had over the past couple of weeks. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere for a long period of time, but it is, of course, nice to take a little break, as I'm sure you can all understand. With that said, though, let's go ahead and talk about the forecast because we do have some pretty interesting things ongoing right now. We have a severe thunderstorm watch here from sections of North Carolina up through Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, as well as far southern New Jersey. We have some storms kind of firing off the Appalachian Mountains today on this cold front as the cold front is pushing on through, and some of these are already severe. They are towards North Carolina and Virginia. Other than that, we do have some flood watches here for sections of Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, and Tennessee, as we have that kind of front here that's just stalled out, and we're getting rounds of rain through that area and bringing plenty well enough conditions to flood many creeks and streams. So taking a look at that radar now, as you can tell, this is what I'm talking about with all that flooding ongoing out here. Just this area of rain has really set up shop and just stayed over this part of the country for a pretty long period of time. Looking back up here into the northeast, if I could click the right thing, that is, pretty quiet. We do have some showers moving on through, but nothing too crazy here through much of Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut. Just some good old-fashioned kind of rain. Back here to the south, though, into the Mid-Atlantic, this is where we have some of those stronger storms forming here into sections of North Carolina and Virginia, where we actually already have a severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon down here through sections of the southwestern Virginia mountains. So that's radar right now. On satellite, you can kind of see this as well. You can see this cold front still kind of slowly working its way on through as it's kind of stalling out a bit here on the southern edge. And this kind of general idea of it stalling out here is going to continue. Now up here through the northeast, it will eventually work on through, but we do expect this to stall out here over the I-20, I-85 corridors here through the southern tier of the country, and with that bringing, unfortunately, a very soggy and in some places just downright cold Friday and Saturday for us. So luckily, I do think by the time we get to Easter Sunday, things will improve. But taking a look here at the severe weather threat today, again, this is that area we're looking out for from really Charlotte up through Greensboro and then back towards the Richmond area, as well as the Delmarva having that threat of these severe storms this afternoon. And as we look at future radar, you can see that unfolding pretty well here. So as we go into later tonight, this big area of thunderstorms is expected to finally work through sections of Richmond, Virginia, down here through southern Maryland, through the Delmarva, even southern New Jersey, getting in on some of those thunderstorms. And then back out to the south and to the west here, again, just this rain continuing into sections of Texas and Louisiana. But if you're in the Carolinas and you don't see much rain tonight, don't get too excited, because by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, that is going to likely change in a big way. This is tomorrow afternoon. You see that area of rain finally working through the Carolinas after stalling out over sections of Louisiana and Mississippi tonight. It'll finally work its way into the Carolinas tomorrow, and that is going to start really at least a 24 to 36 hour stretch of pretty just miserable weather here in the Carolinas, to be completely honest. And even through much of the southeast, just rainy and damp with these rounds of rain through Friday, overnight Friday into Saturday, where I expect even more widespread rain here, and at this point, also just very cold temperatures thanks to this high pressure up here, helping to cause some cold air damming here down the backside of the mountains. And with the precipitation combined on top of that, it's just going to be very, just not very fun weather at all for those of us here in the southeast. So moving this ahead, again, rain tomorrow for much of the Carolinas, and then Saturday afternoon we get another prolonged period of rain. Luckily, after this batch moves out Saturday afternoon, I do expect some clearing on the backside. And as we get into Easter Sunday, it looks much nicer through the southeast, although I can't rule out some clouds and some drizzly weather, especially here along the beaches of the Carolinas, as that rain is still kind of holding on a little bit, but definitely better than Saturday for everyone just about here in the southeast. And then we really clear out going into Monday before going into next week. And we have some real question marks here as to what the weather is going to look like in the southeast. We're just going to need some times for the models to kind of figure that out. So talking about how much rain we're going to see, widespread 2 to 4 inches looks very likely here into the southern tier of the country, especially in Texas and Louisiana, and as well here in the Carolinas, with kind of hot spots being the Charlotte area, I think, down through Columbia seeing likely at least 3 inches of rain, and then down here towards the Gulf Coast as well seeing a lot of that rain, with places in between seeing a little bit less, but still plenty enough rain to need to worry about. So talking about those temperatures this afternoon, again, it is really warm out there with that warm sector here still over much of the southeast, but as we go through tonight, that cold front will finally push through, and you can see we're going to get this backdoor cold front to swing in behind it, and we're going to have quite the boundary tomorrow here. So a place like Columbia tomorrow afternoon could hit 80 degrees, while Charlotte likely won't hit 50. So there's going to be a very steep boundary here in the Carolinas tomorrow, and I can't tell you exactly where it's going to set up shop, unfortunately. So if you're in a place like Rock Hill, you very well could be 80 tomorrow, or you very well could be 50 degrees. It's going to be very close through places really between, I'd say, Rock Hill and Columbia, where this front is likely going to kind of set up this boundary, if you will. Again, very tough temperature forecast for those areas, but I think places north of Charlotte very well will be in this wedge, and then places in between Columbia and Charlotte are going to be kind of in that battleground zone, if you will, on exactly what temperatures you're going to see. What I can say, though, is by the time we get into Saturday afternoon, I think that wedge really takes hold of just about everyone here in the southeast, and it is going to be just really miserable weather from Atlanta to Columbia, Charlotte, Raleigh, and everywhere in between. Although nicer weather back out here into the plains where we don't have to worry about this kind of backdoor cold front taking over. All right, so those are the temperatures. Did want to show you the Sunday forecast for temperatures. This is the forecast from the National Weather Service. So again, I think we rebound Sunday at least a little, although likely not crazy spring-like temperatures, at least better than Friday and Saturday will be. So of course, kind of find where you live on the map, and then you get that Easter Sunday high temperature forecast. The one good news is, though, I do expect mainly dry weather through much of the country east of the Mississippi. So that is one bright side for Easter Sunday. Again, with all that said, hope you enjoyed this weekend. If you haven't already gotten out there and enjoyed the weather today, if it's still nice, try to do that before it gets really kind of ugly over the next couple of days. And again, just to remind you, I won't have the video out until next Monday. So with all that said, hope you have a great rest of your day and have a wonderful Easter, and I will see you all next week.